Well, they're where you would expect them in the frigid range. Just how the Cheeseheads like it here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Tonight, it's the NFC's turn to take center stage as we've got a wild card matchup on tap between the New York Giants and the Green Bay Packers. Win or go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC wild card game. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And the Packers pick it up. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
They go play action here on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
I will see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Inside.
Rodgers now to throw again. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks for those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Every possession in the postseason magnified, and look, it's just the opening drive. They didn't get the touchdown they wanted, but at least they got on the board.
They got on the board. They've got their home crowd into it as well. And remember, in the playoffs, the game slows down a little bit, so every point is precious.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Ready.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22.
Let's go, Mike 50.
From the gun, Jones. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. He's got a man, complete. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. It's a big-time play there for the G-Men. 51 yards. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Good running from Barkley there on first down as he'll get forward for about 6 yards. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
61, matchbox, lights.
On 2nd down and 4, Jones. Catch made by Slayton. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a 1st down.
It's a gain of 6. 1st down.
Ready. 10 logo. Watch the eye. Rock it. Yo, go. Get it.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. On 2nd and 11 now. Jones. That's complete to Slayton. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On third down, Barkley. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's fourth down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So a return of serve, so to speak, here on the second drive of our game as they respond to that opening field goal with 3 of their own.
I like that. Going a little tennis on me.
I know you. You like to mix it up with sports.
They crack a forehand back at him. They get a backhand. What was the return on?
It was a backhand. And a really good backhand.
With some nice top spin on the
a little bit.
I love it. Almost a mirror image when you really get down to it. I thought that was pretty good stuff. Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's second down now. Tackle made that time by Dalvin Tomlinson.
It's second and 8 at the 16-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's second and 8. Now Rodgers. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a third down. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I'm being given much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Look pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first. So the drive takes them into Giants territory now. First and 10, right at the 40. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. The last run good for 2. Here's second and 8. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here's Rodgers, and that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3. They got his man complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one good for 37 yards. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. On first down, Barkley. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. These two teams all tied after one. Giant football, and we're ready to begin the second quarter as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming.
Ready to break. Oh, you got twist on travel.
Saquon Barkley running right. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
First down, New York.
Set, ready? 15, line. 15 line.
They'll run on first down. Barkley. Vanderbilt's own Oren Burks had the tackle defensively.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Bailey's kick is good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. So another good job defensively because they've allowed 3 trips into the red zone, but only the 2 field goals.
Yeah, that's the bend but don't break, isn't it? And they really didn't get broken at all because if you're running off the field having allowed 2 field goals and 3 trips in the red zone, you've actually come out ahead.
Yeah, flip it over to the other side. The offense, they'll hope to cash in for 6 next trip.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line. The Packers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. To throw is Rodgers. He's got Adams on the hookup. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. This is Jones. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. On play action, it's Rodgers. Looking deep for Adams. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Packers. Davante Adams, 49 yards. And once again, the Packers, they're back out in front. Gostkowski with the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They've probably got some adjustments to make because they've moved the football okay at times, but they haven't been able to get anything consistently going, have they?
What you worry about is it almost turns into a basketball game where one team's coming down and hitting threes, and you're coming back and getting twos, and you steadily lose ground. In this situation, you're talking about touchdowns to field goals. They want to put in the end zone and put those sixes on the board.
Yeah, they've been settling. That's why they're down on the scoreboard right now. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Saquon Barkley trying to run inside, but nothing there. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Now Jones to throw on 3rd down. Isaiah McKenzie hauling it in. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No 1st down. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. And the Giants send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. Two minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
14 yards, good for a Packer 1st down. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. Tackle made there by Zach Brown.
2nd and 10. At their 49-yard line.
Throwing on 2nd down. Rodgers. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. He sets up the screen to Jones. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Giants' drive will start from deep in their territory with a 1st and 10. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
6-6, pull it high. Step.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half.
Ready. 50, plant. Let's get in there. 5.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jones, he'll rifle this one deep right into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jones. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Throwing is Rodgers. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Lorenzo Carter coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So on third down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
We got this.
So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Now a play fake here on first down. This complete to Jones. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll bring up second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On second down now, it's Jones. And he's got some space here. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And he will finally be taken down at the Giants' 23-yard line. They've done a pretty good job containing him up until this drive, and until that run, there was no containing him at all.
Yeah, you're right about that. He finally popped free. But we didn't have to be in their practice sessions. We didn't have to be in their meeting rooms. They planned for a run like that to happen, maybe a couple of them. But what did they tell their guys all week? You know what they said. Move on to the next play. That one just happened. Let it go.
Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Giants touchdown. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
Bailey got the extra point, and that will shave one more off this lead. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
This will be taken short. And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Again, it's Jones. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now Rodgers. He'll get this off to Jamal Williams. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now it's Rodgers. Gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. Nothing at all on that one. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Rodgers on the money to the tight end, Graham. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 44-yard line. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when, and he told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13.
Y'all playing the wrong football. 50 wants the mic. 50 wants the mic. For the 50. You don't want none. Hey, you can get it.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
Throwing now is Rodgers. And he finds Jimmy Graham. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Rodgers now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Incomplete. I remember growing up playing basketball. My coach has always talked about communicating on defense, making sure you talk on defense, know where your screens are, know where the cuts are coming from, who has who. But guess what? It's the same thing in football. Even though there's more noise out there, you can hear all the screams of screen, screen. This defense, the bench, everyone let them know what the play was, and that's why they were able to react and knock the ball away.
They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A 12-yard touchdown run as his guys are able to regain the lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
The Giants take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. 1 quarter remains in this NFC wild card matchup. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. On first down, Barkley. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there. Second down. Looking to throw on second down. Jones.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. They'll go to Barkley again. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's first and 10. This is Barkley. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's second and 9.
70, Indy.
On second and 9, Jones. And an alley to... Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Packers pick it up. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. He had gained really good yardage, but that's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you've got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. You know, I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hits as well.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up first and 10 at their own 26. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on second and 14. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones, 78 yards. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. He's been having a great game, and that one right there, his best run so far, and it ends with 6 points.
And not only that, in his mind, what is he thinking? Can I get to 200 yards as well? Because he knows he's closing in on it. He may not know the exact number, but the best runners have a feel of what the yardage is that they're compiling, and he knows that he's getting close to that 200-yard mark now.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Giants take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back up. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Preston Smith. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. The Giants on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Throwing Jones. He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Jones. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Stephon Anthony. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now Jones. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Adrian Amos, the safety, able to make the play. Looking to erase a 2-score deficit here in the 4th quarter. Going for some big plays.
Yeah, they certainly were. They just decided one shot, didn't they? Forget trying to move the ball downfield in small little increments. Let's go for the big one. But how about the defense playing situational football, looking at the scoreboard, realizing what could hurt us most? The deep shot. They played it well.
14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
The throw on target to his receiver, McKenzie. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down.
A gain of 13 yards. And the Giants
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Looking to throw. Jones finds his tight end Ingram. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down. On the run, it's Barkley. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Hey, go. Hustle, hustle. Hey, come on, get it.
From the 31, Jones gets this out to Saquon Barkley. 7 yards there and a first down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Jones throwing on first down. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Rashawn Gary in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Throw left side, taken in by Slayton. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
They'll run with Barkley. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And he got it on the touchdown run, but he won't get in here. He'll be stopped short, and they'll come up empty on the try for 2. Time definitely of the essence now, just under a minute to play, and here we go. And this is recovered by the Packers, so that might just about do it. Well, for a second there, I had flashbacks to a few years ago, the NFC Championship game for the Packers, but here they're able to hold on.
And many things changed in Green Bay after that game. Personnel, people coaching, the whole deal. And in this case, they get it done. No fail like they had in Seattle.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll go again to Jones. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. But things just got interesting. They tried for the long field goal there to salt this one away. They don't get it, and now a little time for the other guys to mount a late drive.
Well, they thought their kicker would put it through the post and finish this one off. I'm sure they discussed pooch punting it and letting their defense take over. Well, the defense now has to make it stand up, but they didn't get the best field position because the ball comes back to the line of scrimmage.
34 yards there and a first down. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. They'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. They'll try the right side here. Barkley. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
18 Gator. Pilot, 64, weak. You got time. You got 2.
He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Rashawn Gary in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Their coaching staff, they were pretty adamant beginning of the year. Our goal is to get to the Super Bowl. Well, they made it to the playoffs. That's part 1, but they fall a little bit short.
And to me, once again, it exemplifies just how difficult it is to not just make the playoffs, but to win games in the playoffs. So you can set your goals high, but if anything is off during that time, you have some key injuries or you just don't play well, you get a bad matchup where that team just has better strength than you in certain areas, this is how it ends. So I don't think it's a total loss of a season, but obviously didn't get where they wanted to go.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Packers are winners here as we say so long from Lambeau.